What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today, in this video, we're going to be talking about the fastest ways to catch up in Season of Discovery. It's never been faster. So if you're someone who's been on the fence, maybe you didn't play the last few phases, maybe you didn't play at all, maybe you hated Season of Discovery just from everything you read on Reddit and the forums about it, and you want to come back and just kind of check out this last phase and see what this Scarlet Enclave raid is all about, it's never been easier. And in this video, we're going to dive into all the ways you can catch up and how fast you can actually do it. It really is that fast. It should be illegal. Okay, really quick, just to start out, if you don't have a character at max level, at level 60, the ways you're going to level are insanely fast as well. Like, you can level from 1 to 60 super fast. If you're questing, it's going to be extremely fast. You have a 150% XP bonus and a 300% bonus to gold dropped from mobs. You can dungeon grind your way up. Either way, it's insanely fast to level. If you're someone who played some earlier phases and you have some gold stockpiled, right now you can still do the invasion boost, which is arguably the fastest way to level. You could level from 1 to 60 in about 4 hours doing the invasion boost, but it does cost a hefty amount of gold. Now, once you're level 60, your main priority is going to be upgrading your Seal of the Dawn buff, which is a buff that is given to DPS, caster DPS, physical DPS, tanks, healers, everybody. It's a stacking buff that you're going to use inside Naxxramas and moving forward into the Scarlet Enclave. So let me explain to you all what Seal of the Dawn actually is, what this buff actually is. I wrote a post about this in our new guild Discord, Phase 9, so here it is. Seal of the Dawn is a buff that you pick up when you enter Naxxramas. It's an item that you just have in your bags, and when you use it, it puts a buff on your character. At the start of the phase, we got a new rank unlocked each week. The buff gives you damage, healing, health, depending on what spec you are, based on how many sanctified pieces of gear you have equipped. So for example, Seal of the Dawn rank 7, which is what we're capped at right now, will give you, let's say, 22% damage, healing, or health for each piece of sanctified gear you have equipped, up to a maximum of 8. So basically what you want to do when you hit level 60 is work towards 8 pieces of sanctified gear. That's the cap. It won't go any higher than if you had 8 pieces equipped. It is actually massive, and the content is really tuned around this. So the next question you guys are probably going to ask is, how do you upgrade your Seal of the Dawn buff, right? It starts at rank 1. We're at rank 7 now. How do you get there? So it starts at rank 1, obviously, and then it scales insanely from there. To upgrade the buff all the way up to the cap, which is rank 7 right now, they're most likely going to unlock it up to rank 10 when Scarlet drops. But the way you upgrade the buff is you farm Remnants of Valor. Remnants of Valor are farmed by picking up a repeatable quest in any of the invasion zones like Blasted Lands, Eastern Plague Lands, etc. You basically go to all these invasions, just run around to the invasions, loot a Heart of Doom, and turn it in for 300 plus remnants each time. Now, you could do this quest over and over again with no lockout or limit. So a safe bet would be for everyone to get around 3,000 plus remnants. And then from there, you know, if we need more, you're going to get more when you do run Naxx. They drop off each boss in Naxx as well. So that's how you would max out your Seal of the Dawn buff. Now, you're going to probably ask, how do you get Sanctified Gear? Now, Sanctified Gear drops inside Karazhan. There's turn-ins for it in Light's Hope. You can buy a few pieces on the auction house. So there's a lot of different ways to get it. But the best way to do this is when you first hit level 60, you can buy your Sanctified Bracers on the auction house for like 5 or 6 gold. The gloves, there's a 3-piece set. It's a chest, gloves, and bracers set. And this set is so great at the beginning because wearing 2 pieces of this set gives you a set bonus that acts as if it's wearing 4 pieces. So 2 pieces of this set basically is 4 sanctified pieces, and if you get the 3rd piece of the set, now you're basically wearing 5 pieces, but you only have 3 equipped. So it's really, really nice, and that's pretty much enough to jump into some hard mode 1 and 2 Naxxes, and then you'll get some sanctified gear in there as well, and be able to hit your 8 sanctified pieces cap. Now, Karazhan, which is a daily lockout, also drops nothing but sanctified gear. So you can get some pieces in there, some rings, necks, and some other off pieces from Karazhan, which would be great. So if you're someone who just hit level 60 and you're a fresh 60, what you're going to want to do is probably get those bracers, get those gloves. The gloves are purchased with 15 necrotic runes from the Argent Dawn quartermasters in each zone. And you get necrotic runes by farming the undead that are around the invasion. So very easy, very quick to get those gloves. And like I said, the bracers you buy in the auction house, and the chest piece for that, 3-piece set drops off the Shadows of Doom at the invasions as well. So now let's say you are a fresh level 60. Just grab any gear that you can, jump into some Molten Core pugs, BWL pugs. Those are still on the 7-day lockout, but here's the thing. Most people in the Molten Core and BWLs already have a ton of gear, so they're really there just to farm reels, the Undermine reels. That's another way to get gear. So you're going to jump into Molten Core, BWL, then you have ZG, AQ10, the Nightmare Dragons. Those three are on, the Tuesday, Saturday lockout, so you can do them twice a week. Whereas Molten Core, BWL, Nax, AQ40, those are on the 7-day lockout. Every Tuesday they reset. So there's a million ways to get gear. But my advice to you would be to jump into Molten Core, ZG, AQ10 right off the bat. You're probably going to walk out of Molten Core with your full, if not almost full, tier 1 set, maybe some rings if you get lucky, weapons. Because like I said, most people have this gear and they're just farming the reels. Now, the reels, the Undermine reels, are another way to get gear. It's so fast. There's the vendor in Booty Bay, sells a ton of the gear. You can buy your tier 1 with the reels if you don't get lucky in the raid. You can buy 4 pieces of your tier 2 with the reels, trinkets, other things there, and that's super easy. So Molten Core will give you 30 reels, so that's really fast because the Molten Core runs are about 40 minutes to an hour. They're super quick. Same with BWL if you get into a decent pug. So you're going to be farming those reels. If you don't get lucky with gear, you're basically still farming currency to use towards gear anyway. So you want to use up all of these lockouts. The second that you're level 60, get into a Molten Core pug, get into a ZG pug, get into an AQ10 pug. You want to do this because it's going to be the fastest way to go. Then once you have, I would say, 4 to 5 pieces of sanctified gear, which you can get from that 3-piece that I told you about, the starting 3-piece, which is the bracers, the gloves, and the chest. That gives you 5 sanctified pieces just by wearing those 3. You can now jump in to Hard Mode 1 and Hard Mode 2 Naxes and start actually farming, your tier 3, which is sanctified, or any of the other sanctified pieces that drop inside Nax. It is super, super quick. I got my warrior up a couple of weeks ago before I started raiding on him, and I went from being basically a fresh level 60 in Sunken Temple raid gear from level 50 to fully Nax geared in 2 or 3 weeks of raiding, from not even being level 60. And my warrior is full bis waiting for the Scarlet Enclave. I need 1 piece from Nax, and that's Kiss of the Spider. But it's really quick, guys. You got to farm your Remnants of Valor, get your buff upgraded. You got to farm your sanctified pieces of gear, and there are tons of pugs for all of these raids going constantly. So the second you hit level 60, sneak your way into a Molten Core pug. You're going to come out with like 6+ pieces of gear. Most people don't need the gear at this point, and if you don't get lucky, at least you're farming the currency that you need to go to the Undermine Reel vendor and then purchase your tier 1 there, or your tier 2 there, or your trinkets, whatever it is that you need. It's super fast to catch up in Season of Discovery. I'd argue it takes maybe 2 weeks from being literally level 1 to hitting level 60 and being able to jump into Naxxramas and then the Scarlet Raid starting next week. So I hope this helped anyone out and clarified this. I've been explaining it to a lot of people over the past few days. It sounds a little complicated and convoluted, but when you actually understand it and like write it down in front of you, it's not that complex. It's very simple, and they actually designed it really well for catch up and anyone coming back to the game. So if I was able to help you in any way, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and come follow me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/hammerdance. I stream Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, that's really all I've got for you guys today. So thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.